I was looking through old videos today on my other channel where I started talking about daughters of difficult mothers, or being the daughter of a very difficult mother. Like her picture is next to the definition of difficult mother. And I think the best thing to do is print out the transcripts and just make new ones. Just a side note, if you're into YouTubing and you wish to be a presence on YouTube, your background and how you look has to be consistent. The algorithm picks up all these anomalies, and if you're in a different stage setting every time, you don't get promoted as much. Isn't that interesting? Well, it will force me to revisit certain topics. So I'll get to that. They've all been taken down off of the Lisa Sarjay's channel. There are no more narcissistic mother videos there. They're all here on the channel, Daughters of Difficult Mothers. So my godson, he's 26. When I say godson, people think he's just like a little boy. I'm like, they grow up, you know. Anyway, so he's in his 20s. And he had a relationship with a difficult girl. And now I teach him well. And he kept using the expression that this girl was gaslighting him, gaslighting him, gaslighting him. He's no longer with her. And it made me think, well, what's the difference between gaslighting and outright lying? And I thought about it. I'm like, well, my mother lies, like, a lot. About any and everything. You just never really get to know them. You take the lie they tell, and then maybe it's a half-truth, and just constant detective work. And it's one thing to do it for a parent, not that it's a good idea to do it any longer than you have to. It's quite another thing to be constantly investigating, being a researcher, being a private detective for a love interest, a partner, a boyfriend, girlfriend. And it made me, so he kept using the expression like, well, what's the actual difference between gaslighting and lying? Pardon me. That's why I took off for a few days. I had a little bit of a cold. Ginger tea. Right, Xander? The lie is just something that kind of, you've heard the expression, oh, a pathological liar. They just lie for no reason. Well, it's not for no reason. They lie because they have no true self. And if you ever saw their true self, they would be so vulnerable and in such fear of your judgment and rejection that they would lash out at you. They lied to survive when they were kids. You're not actually real to them, so what's the difference if they lie or tell the truth? But the gaslighting, that is something very different. And it can be conscious or subconscious. So the film Gaslighting, or is it Gaslight, which I never saw, even though I refer to it all the time. The husband is trying to convince the wife that she's losing her mind. So every day he turns the gas lights down just a smidge. And gosh, is it getting darker in the house? No, what are you, crazy? It's the same as it's always been. Oh my God. Gaslighting is when we are made to doubt ourselves. We doubt our own experience. That makes us weak, vulnerable. It allows them to insult us, to call us crazy. It allows them to construct their own reality apart from what we've experienced with them. My mother, I never hit you. I'm not capable of such a thing. Oh my God. if I showed her a video of it? She wouldn't accept it as true, and if she did for even half a second, she would say, why are you doing this to me? She would turn it around on me. I've been down this road. Not with video, but we can't stop them from lying. We can't stop them from telling the lies. But we can stop feeling like we're crazy when they try to make us feel crazy. I know what I lived through. Sorry, there was too much space up here. Isn't that beautiful? This was a gift from my friend Diane, my lady friend Diane, with matching earrings. I know what I lived through. Why do you think this step is taking me years? I can't stop talking about it. I don't know if I ever should. It seems to be helping people. I get a lot of, yeah, me too. And when we validate our experiences by saying, yes, I believe you, that is a very important set of first steps in healing. No, I believe you. Mine did that too. Really? Al-Anon beginners meetings are like that. I should find a beginners meeting specifically. I've been in Al-Anon less than a year. Because the more veteran members don't harp on, I mean, they will talk about what's going on with their qualifier, codependent, the addict in their life. But at a beginner's meeting, that's where we're really looking for validation. We're really coming up with our stories like, yeah, so they did this horrible thing to me. Oh my God, mine did too. Really? It's the whole, oh my God, people who believe me. You know the expression covert narcissist. That's when, to the rest of the world, they're this wonderful person. Now, my mother had a few sets of people. There were the ones who thought she was just lovely and wonderful. They were a little codependent themselves. People that she had helped, maybe. She wasn't able to keep that facade up for too long, though. People eventually get to know who she is and, or what she's like, how she behaves. And they often will keep their distance from her. She can be very hurtful. Her words are very hurtful. But back in the day, she did a lot of charity work. Like sincere charity work. She worked with animals, rescue situations. She collected clothes for the poor. She would go into neighborhoods. Back when my father had his red Chevy convertible, they called her the Santa Claus lady because she'd come with the red card. She'd give out clothes and food. It's not something you could really do nowadays in our neighborhoods. But back in the day, she did very kind things. She would befriend people who just moved here and felt a little displaced, but then eventually she would just wear them out with demands like, I did this for you, why aren't you running when I ask you to do this, kind of stuff. Anyway, let me not go on a tangent. Gaslighting. Covert narcissists. Some of them keep up a very convincing facade, and there are flying monkeys and others in the pathological narcissistic space who will never see the narcissist in a negative light, especially if they're the golden child or the golden friend or the golden whatever. The person who is now number one to the narcissist. They're not going to give up that number one spot that they coveted for so long and had to fight you for. No, they're not really like that. No, I think it's just, because that's how, and then they gaslight you. Well, because you've been around her for so long, or you take things too personally. Part of our recovery is that we have to be able to trust our own experiences, trust our own memories, to know who we are, to not be talked out of our own experiences. And sometimes you'll tell the story of the abuse, and a person won't believe you because then they would have to do something about it. And they can't. They don't know how. They don't know how to help you. Oh, really? It just can't be that bad. No, it was that bad. It was that bad. So they made us feel crazy. I never said that. I never did that. That's, you remember things distorted. Your psychiatrist, your counselor is making you turn me into a demon. I don't know where you got this idea from. You've always been so dramatic. You're oversensitive. Well, what about the time that you... Oh, that's it. Oh, were they spinning around on you? Oh, you're pointing that out. What about the time you blah, blah, blah? But gaslighting is truly crazy making. It's crazy making. I don't know why we keep thinking we'll ever get closure or a sincere apology or them begging for any kind of forgiveness or some sort of remorse. I've given up on that. I mean, I say that, but I still catch myself trying to do things for her approval. I'll still, she needed a few things. I found them on eBay. I'm a very good shopper. And I put so much thought and care into picking them out. And I made sure to pick a color she liked. And I'm like, there you are, Lee, still chasing that approval. Still thinking that she'll say something sincerely nice about what you just did. I mean, it's hit or miss. Maybe she will. But I catch myself doing it. Still wanting the attention, the approval. I know I was so bad of a mother, or I know I hit you for no reason. I know I was so hard on you and I kept you from making friends. I know I got between you and your dad. I'm never going to hear those words. Because she has talked herself out of believing that that was actually her doing those terrible things. And along the way, I was made to doubt my own experiences. When you hear a lie often enough, you think, well, maybe it is true. She keeps saying it. Well, I don't want to just talk about how horrible they were and how much pain they caused. That is step one, or it's one of the first steps, to admit that we lived through something we should not have lived through, to name this behavior as dysfunctional and common because others with the same personality deficit, personality disorder, emotional immaturity behave the same way. We have to find each other to support each other out of this sinkhole, out of this quicksand of shame and sadness. So yes, a little naming, a little blaming. But if we stay in that spot, we won't heal. We'll go right down the sinkhole with them. We'll get sucked right into the quicksand of their gaslighting and lies. As we wrestle with them, nah, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. No, they shouldn't have done that. But we have to break free of it. It's not an overnight thing, I don't think. I believe I'll be in my 12-step meetings and making these videos for quite a while. I find them therapeutic. But I believe I'm improving. Once you tell your story to a listening person or audience or group, and you're heard, and you've articulated it well and accurately, oh, there's a healing that happens. I feel lighter. The more I talk about things, I feel lighter. Do I sometimes still get in my moods and angry and rage? And yeah, I do. But I think I bounce out of them more quickly now. That I know that you believe me. You believe me. Thank you for believing me. Thank you for believing me. And that's the demon of gaslighting, is that we doubt ourselves. How can we get anyone else to believe us if we can't believe ourselves, because we're like, well, maybe it didn't happen that way. In time, we'll learn to trust our own memories, our own experiences, our own evaluations of things, and our own ability to heal. My book, Diary of a Fat Girl, not only does it talk about my journey, my weight loss journey, it talks about things from my childhood and my upbringing and her. It's the first year after my gastric bypass. I have more books coming, by the way. The next one is called From Wheelchair to Warrior. But if you get a copy of Diary of a Fat Girl, that helps to feed all 6 plus outdoors of my cats for a day. And with the prices going up on everything, it really helps me out. It's nice to be able to earn money doing something I believe in. Now, my job is great, being a professor, love it. But that side hustle helps me with my animals who are off camera. Zuko, say hi. There's Zuko. He's sitting there looking like an owl. And there's the fat one. Can you see? Oh, he's not even looking at the camera. They are off duty. They are not earning their keep today. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button so you get notifications when I post. I was sick for a couple days and didn't post. Please share this with somebody who might benefit from that, yeah, me too, not alone kind of feeling. And I'll see you as soon as possible with more insights. Thanks for watching.